Hey guys, today I'm going to finally make the video showing you how to play Warhammer on Tabletop Simulator, hopefully in as concise manner as possible. So to start out, obviously you want to have the game Tabletop Simulator on Steam. Its regular price is $19.99, but it often goes on sale. As of right now, it's not on sale. But they usually have a large sale in the summer months, so it'll be on sale fairly soon. And then once you have the game installed, I'm going to leave the links to everything in the description of the video so you know where to go. The next thing you want to do is go to this GitHub here, and it's for the mods and everything you need to put into your tabletop simulator. And to do that, you just click the green code button right here and download the zip folder. And I've already downloaded it, so I don't need to continue that. And it'll go right here into your downloads, and you take this and go to My Documents, My Games, and then Tabletop Simulator. You go to your saves folder, then you drag this in here, and then with whatever zip program you use, for example I use 7-zip, you just extract it here, and it'll make a folder just like this that I have here already. And that'll import this folder, gives you all the models and everything you need to build armies for 40k. After you've done that, you need to go to the Steam Workshop, which is a collection of mods for Steam, and for this is for Tabletop Simulator in particular. And you'll need to grab this one, which is Yellow Scribe. This will allow you to build lists and import them into the game for easier list building. And then you'll also want to have this map base, which will provide you pre-designed maps that you can use to play 40k with. So to build a list and import it into the game, we're going to just get Battlescribe from battlescribe.net, which is a program I say most people use to build their list. And for example here, I have just a 500 point Adeptus Mechanicus list that I made, just for as an example. So once you have all this made and you save your Battlescribe file, like here, you're then going to go to this folder. So I have it as a quick saved area on my computer where I have my roster saved. And then you're going to go to the Yellow Scribe website, and you just can click and drag your roster onto this web page. I messed up there, but click and drag into this square here, and it will show all of your units and what they're equipped with, and if it looks correct you can just hit submit and it'll generate you a code. This code's active for about 10 minutes, so you don't have to rush it. Once you enter it once on Tabletop Simulator, you don't need it anymore. So you go into Tabletop Simulator and you're going to create a game and single player. Right now we're just building the army and not actually playing against someone. So we go to single player and we'll go to save and load. This is where the files I gave you earlier are going to show up. Here's the mod pack. And so we're playing Warhammer. We need army. Mechanicus is Imperium. Here they are. And then we'll load this. And this may take a while because it's loading all of the models at once. This one looks really nice. Whoever did the Mechanicus one did a lot of really good work with organizing and laying it out. Your experience may vary depending on how popular the army is. For example, for my Votan, they are not included in the main mod pack yet, and I had to search out a different mod. But here's the Mechanicus, all the different units. There's your troops, there's your HQs. And so now that we have access to the models, we're going to load in the Yellow Scribe mod. So we're going to go to Games and then the Workshop. And this is just a bunch of different mods I have. Don't pay any attention to those. We're looking for the Yellow Scribe. Now we don't want to just click it and load it. We want to right click these options and additive load. That means it'll load it into the map you're currently on without overwriting anything. So you get this little yellow cube and it's got one button. That's all it has right now. So we click this button and we give it the code we got from the Yellow Scribe website. We hit submit. The tech priests will chant their hymns over the army list. And now here we have the same list that I made on Battlescribe that I uploaded to the Yellow Scribe website. Now to build the army itself, we look for what I have on my list and seek out the model that I want to use for it. And to do that, I will click this and it'll turn pink to know that it's selected. So I'm looking for a Scutari Marshal, and I know the HQs are over here. Here's the Marshal. So I'll pick him up, and he will glow green for a second. That means he has been selected. And if you mouse over this, he'll glow green to correspond with what you selected for that. If, for example, I clicked the Tech Priest and then selected the Armiger will be in place for my Tech Priest, which is not what you want. So you can go back and click this square again and then pick the correct model for him. And then you can mouse over it to confirm that that is the choice you made. So I'll just do the rest real quick. They don't have to be the exact models, just close enough. So we got the Scutari. We got a Dune Rider. The Cataphren Breachers. And these are, for the most part, all set up with the proper weapons that you would have on the model. For what you see is what you get. Not all of them will, but you know, just like with the store, it's close enough. So now that I have everything selected and I'm double checking to make sure all the models are the right models, make sure we don't have a Tech Priest that's a knight, as I used the example earlier, and I'm satisfied with all my selections, I can just drag this somewhere and then click the Create Army button. And for some reason they glitched out and fell through this little plank of wood that it generates, but that's not going to be a problem because we're just going to box all these guys, make sure they're all highlighted yellow, that they're selected, right click them, and then save the object. Now I created an extra folder just for 40k armies. You can do that too if you want, or you can just use the root folder, it doesn't matter. And I'll say this is my 500 points of AdMech, and save it. And now, just to double check that I have this saved and I can call it back whenever I want, I'll go to Objects, Saved Objects, and then there it is right there. And then to load it into any table that you're playing on, you can just click and drag it. I will show that off here in just a second. So say for example you're going to be playing against someone and you want to set up the game. You will create and then go to multiplayer, and then you can set the server name. This won't be as important as you'll want to have friends or invite selected for what server type, so you don't have people just joining. And then you can set the number of players. You can have people observe if they'd like from inside the game client, but you can just set that to 2 if you're just playing between you and one other person, and then create the server. And then we're going to go to the workshop and we're going to get the second mod, the map base that I linked, and we're going to click that and load it in. And you first pick your seat, which will allow you to load in your armies. We're going to do the standard board size, which is 44 by 60. This allows you to do different sizes for different point values, but we're just going to stick to the standard. And then to bring in my army, I can go to the saved objects and click and drag this over to the table. And after a little bit of lag, they will load in. And not only are they here and represented by models, but they also have stats that you can mouse over and keep track of how your units are. And if you press 1 on the numpad, they will have their data sheet, which will let you read about their special abilities, such as Skitarii having a 5+ invulnerable save. Now up here are different clocks and various other useful mechanics, such as setting up, showing your deployment zones and allowing you to put objectives into this sheet here and allow you to keep track of your objectives if you're playing with objectives, and your victory points and command points. These are individual trackers that you can increase or decrease as you have command points or victory points. There's a clock and timer. There's different various tokens for buffs for your troops. Now the important thing is for getting a map. There are several different ways of doing it. The way I do it is just I will go onto the workshop and look for maps and make sure they're the right size. So, for example, here is a Strike Force sized map here, the war zone. So I will click the options and then additive load, because remember, if you click this without additive loading, it'll overwrite everything that's on the table. So you'll do that, load it in. And just like magic, the terrain will be built onto the table here. Now for this one, unfortunately, it's a little glitched out with the mat being really reflective looking. I hope nobody has seizures here. So how you fix this is you're going to go to your gizmos over here, pick the first one, click the mat itself, turn this Y position from -9.52 to -9.60, and then there you go, no more shiny nonsense. And now you can, for example, let's just say we're doing reconnaissance mission, why not? So there's your deployment zones. You can click and drag your models to where they need to be. The game has a built-in ruler. You can either click it and use it all the time, or if you have your hand tool, you can just hold tab and it'll allow you to measure. You can set it to measure from the base of your models. So you go right here to the auto and the edge, make sure it's the edge of the object, so it'll go to the base of your troop here. And these are the objectives for this mission. Obviously this map may be not as good for this one, as the objectives kind of covered by this building, but you can find the map that works for you. There's other ways. There's map packs that you can get on the workshop. I'll link a few of those in the description. But yeah, that should be just about everything you need to know to play 40K over the internet on Steam. If you have any questions, just feel free to message me on Discord. I'm on there pretty much all the time. And thanks for watching. I hope you have fun, and good luck.